Today is a very different kind of show because, you know, bull markets are all about hype and euphoria, and bear markets are all about the exact opposite. And sometimes, just like we overhyped the bull market, we may be over euphoriaing. Is there a word called dramatizing bear markets? Now, the thing with over dramatizing bear markets is that if you get, because of the over dramatization of bear markets, coins may go too low and may present the biggest bargains of all time. But sometimes the over dramatization is true, and that means that your favorite coin may actually go to zero. So today is a very different kind of show because we're going to look at a whole lot of coins that are being FUDed right now, and we're going to decide whether the FUD is real or whether we should actually be buying these coins because it might be the biggest opportunity of all time. Very, 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 very different kind of show. So let's do it. Yo, Banter. I like the one comment on the screen. There was a comment on the screen which said something like, we're living in the biggest opportunity of all time. It's an amazing opportunity. But the thing is, right now, everybody is so scared to buy. I see people here saying Solana is all fake FUD. Is it fake FUD? Or after Luna, that now we've realized that protocols can actually go to zero. And if protocols can go to zero, is Solana going to go to zero? Is Cardano going to go to zero? Is HEX going to go to zero? Is Stepan going to go to zero? Now the market has realized that, you know what, actually there was a lot of hype in the bull market. And now when the hype has died, people are putting on different color lenses over their eyes, or different kinds of lenses on their eyes. And they're starting to look at the market with different eyes. And that may be the biggest opportunity in crypto, or it may be the biggest reality check in crypto. For some coins, it will be the biggest opportunity because you can buy them really, really cheap now because people are overfunding them. But for some, it might just be your last warning to actually jump the ship. So today we're going to talk about 5 or 6 tokens, actually more, post 7 or 8 tokens, and decide whether this is FUD or whether this is the biggest buy the dip opportunity that you'll ever get in your life. That's it. All right, so welcome. Subscribe to our channel, like this content. In fact, before you do that, or while you do it. So first, let me hold on. Subscribe to the channel. Okay, that's easy. You just go to YouTube, subscribe. Now go and like this video, like, get the likes up. Then what I need you to do is very simple. How many of you got the newsletter today? How many of you got the newsletter today? The Daily Candle, which is the newsletter that's done by a technical team, which includes Sheldon and Kyle and whatever else. How many of you actually got it? There are 5 amazing trades here, including continuations of trade from yesterday. If you want to subscribe, just go to Sheldon's Twitter. First, what you need to do is subscribe to Sheldon's Twitter, because if you're not subscribed to Sheldon's Twitter, you don't know when Sheldon's going live with his new trading show. And if you watched the trading show yesterday, the man killed it. Okay. Not only did he call the Cardano pump exactly to the cent, the millicent, okay, but he also called the take profit, and it all happened within a couple of hours. Let me know in the comments if any of you guys got in. You know, I didn't get in because it was a problem. Everyone front ran me, so I never got in. But yeah, avoid being front run. Make sure you get the Daily Candle and you get it first. How do you get it? You go to Sheldon's Twitter. You see this little red box here? Because I'm subscribed, it says start reading, but for you it will say subscribe, and then you'll be able to get Sheldon's newsletter. And you don't want to miss it because this is genius, okay? I don't know, did you guys see the trade yesterday? He called it to 60, what is the number? 6075. That was the number that he got in. So he got in at 6075 and he got out at 0.55.
Yeah, it should have been 15% profit, I think.
So 15% profit yesterday. in a couple of hours. Some people doubled their money because remember, we're playing on leverage. So remember that if you're not subscribed to the channel, you don't hit the bell notification, you ain't going to get the notifications. If you don't get the notifications, you may miss the entry points. Also, remember, it's super important that you trade on the same exchanges as he trades, because the exchange might not hit the number, the same price on another exchange. So like if Cardano trades at 60 on ByBit, it may trade at 60.5 on Kucoin. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're trading on the same exchanges. And right now we're trading on 3 exchanges. We're trading on MEXC, we're trading on Kucoin, and we're trading on MEXC, Kucoin, and ByBit. There are referral links below. Make sure that you are signed up before the show, so you don't have to rush on the day of the show. All the exchanges that we've signed up give you at least 2 Bitcoin a day withdrawal without KYC. MEXC is available to US customers as well, and we're going to be opening some trades on that. And so partner up and get onto those exchange links now, so you don't have to rush on the day and be the last one in and actually miss the trade, because those trades happen super fast. I don't know if you guys saw that yesterday. All right, let's get into today's show. Let's quickly look at the price. So interesting what happened yesterday, or maybe not that interesting what happened yesterday. We were doing well. Bitcoin went all the way back up to 32,243. Sheldon called a pullback. Kyle called a pullback. Nobody believed the pump. It was an absolutely fake pump. Nobody believed it. And then the price of Bitcoin started to come back. Why did the price of Bitcoin go back? Well, quite simple, because the price of the stock market started to pull back. Why did the stock market try to pull back? Because this man, Jamie Dimon, says he opened his mouth again. Now listen to what he said.
It's a hurricane. Right now it's kind of sunny. Things are doing fine. Everyone thinks the Fed can handle this. That hurricane is right out there down the road coming our way. We just don't know if it's a minor one or Superstorm Sandy or Sandy or Andrew or something like that. And it's you better brace yourself. It's a hurricane.
Okay, so Jamie Dimon.
Right now,
this is the same guy that was FUDing Bitcoin a while back. You remember he used to FUD Bitcoin, and now, of course, his bank is the biggest recommending bank of Bitcoin in the world. But he says that we are expecting a hurricane. He says that we've never seen anything like this before. We've never been in a situation where the Fed is going to be reducing that. And as soon as he said that, what happened? Markets go down. And then Bitcoin liquidations start to happen. So you had this whole range of Bitcoin liquidations. Why? Because people got over-optimistic. They thought this was a good pump. They took leverage again. They didn't have the stop losses in place. And bam, they got liquidated. Now, we also had yesterday Bullard from the Fed come out and talk. And remember I said to you, that's the one thing that could actually pull markets back. And that's why I said a few days ago, I said to you, on Wednesday, the market's going to take a pullback. Why? And I said to you, it's very simple. I'll show you the video. The video was here. It was this video here. Let me show you the video. So you don't call me. Don't say it's. Here we go. I said, there was a video where I said, there was this one here where I said, don't buy yet, because what I was saying here was on Wednesday, the Fed is going to start talking. And there was another one. When will this pump end? Yeah, it was this one over here, where I said to you, next Wednesday, the Fed speaks. And when the Fed speaks, we're going to get a pullback in the market. And we got exactly that pullback in the market. Why? Because Bullard, who is negative from the Fed, came out and he started to be hawkish or bearish. And he said, if we're unable to bring inflation under control, we could be in for a very long haul. We know that the Fed has one mandate at the moment, and they're going to do whatever it takes to bring inflation down. And right now, that means bringing down the money supply. What you can see, someone did a very cool chart over here. And they showed in this chart, they showed the S&P correlated against the Fed putting money into the economy. It's quite an interesting chart, because what you can see is that the increase in price is actually very correlated to the amount of money in the portfolio in the economy. That's pretty much what they're saying, which means that the increase in price is actually just a function of inflation. It means that the valuations aren't getting higher. There's just more money being put into the market. And now, for the first time in a long time, what the Fed's going to start doing is taking money out of the economy. Question is, how long will they be able to take money out of the economy before they put the economy into recession? Because there's no way that they can slow down the economy and without putting it into recession. And so now there's only one thing that we need to look out for. And this came from Jurrien, who was on our show on Friday, a very, very, very smart guy from Fidelity. And he said, look, right now, the market is just adjusting the multiples. It's saying, look, if you're a company that earns $100, we're not valuing you at a multiple of 20, we're evaluating you at a multiple of 10. The problem is if earnings start to come down. If companies start to report lower earnings, then the valuations are going to go down and the earnings are going to go down, and that could set off a massive, massive, massive market correction, like the likes of which we've never seen. But for now, earnings are holding up, and the small cap valuations are the lowest that they've been since 2008, very, very, very briefly. So right now, the valuations of small caps are the lowest that they've been. And that usually could mean that it's an opportunity. Could mean that there's an opportunity. There is also some other hopium, and that is Friday, tomorrow, there is a options closeout. The point of max pain tomorrow for the options closeout is $35,000. And usually the price gravitates towards a point of max pain. I don't think we'll get to $30,000, but we can see that the price of Bitcoin is already gravitating towards, it's much higher than it was yesterday. I think yesterday was about 29,000. It's now back at 30,000, and it's going back up. Hopefully, according to the max pain theory. But not everyone's buying it. And in fact, our friend El Capo, who we know has been negative right through, and he's actually been right through, he says yesterday's pump was just a test dump, and we're getting a huge dump coming up now. So he's not convinced about this, and he's saying we're getting a huge dump now. And I think what you got to get used to is you got to get used to the fact that in a bear market, people are going to FUD. It's going to get really bad. Remember how much hype there was in the bull market? Remember how everyone was positive and there was hype and they hyped up shit coins and whatever else? Remember all of that? Well, the bear market is exactly the same, but in reverse. Okay, so remember when people hyped up stuff in the bull market? Imagine that hype, but on the other axis, actually going down. That is what a bear market is about. A bear market is about a reset. It is about a reset of euphoria. There's going to be no more of euphoria. It's about a reset of scams. There's going to be much less scams because it's going to be way harder to get money out of people. It's all about a reset. It's going to be about a reset of bad Twitter people and bad YouTube channels. What you'll realize in the bear market is that the ones that are not real, the ones that are unsustainable, the ones that were here for the hype are starting to die down. They're starting to make less videos. The ones that are here, like us, through good and through bad, they will remain. They'll keep giving information. But it's a process. And in this process, the process is going to cleanse the entire market of bad projects, bad valuations, euphoria. There's going to be a cleansing. Now, what this cleansing will mean is that it's like getting the water out of the bath. I know they say don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So there's going to be a whole lot of people FUD. There's going to be a whole lot of negativity. And that's going to bring a whole lot of prices down. But if you can pick up tokens when the FUD is happening, and if you can identify that it's just FUD and it's not really based on anything, then that may be the biggest opportunity of your lives. Because if people are fighting something which is just garbage, in other words, it's just FUD, then that may be the opportunity. And that is where you separate the good investors from the bad investors, because they are able to block out the noise and they're able to block out the FUD. And so today's a very different show. What we decided to do today was to take a whole lot of tokens, some tokens that a lot of people are holding, some tokens that a lot of people love, in fact, all these tokens that a lot of people love, and go through what's going on in those tokens, go through the FUD in those tokens, and then decide whether it's FUD or whether it's the biggest buying up, whether it's FUD, in other words, fear, uncertainty, doubt, whether the FUD is real or whether the FUD represents the biggest opportunity of people's lives. What you're going to get now is you're going to get a lot of people FUDding, and you're going to get a lot of people saying, I told you so. That is what the bear market's about. You're going to get a lot of people that are scared out of the markets by all the FUD. And everybody is jumping in on this. Even the SEC. Okay, so look at the SEC. Now, when the markets are collapsing, when the markets were running, Gary Gensler came out and he said this.
You are a college student studying hard and enjoying college life. Oh, I remember those days. With all of that's going on, why should you think about investing for your financial future? Well, one of the best ways to build wealth is by saving and investing for the long term. So the earlier you start, the easier.
Remember, he said this when the interest rate was zero.
More money to grow due to what's called
compound interest. But the interest rate was zero.
Math. But as a former professor, don't worry, I'm not going to lecture you. But I do want to give you just a little bit of advice to consider. First, the good news. Financial technology is making it easier.
So that was Gary Gensler in the bull market. Where is he now? Where is the SEC now?
Welcome back, Brad. It's your investment.
I'll take meme stocks. Invest.
Ouch. Your investment, Julie.
I'm going to do some research first.
Well played, Julie.
You can do research? Investing is not a game. Always do your research before making an investment decision. Learn more at investor.gov. Before you invest, investor.gov.
Now you tell us. Where were you in the bull market? Now you tell us about all this. So everybody's going to jump in. There's going to be a whole lot of great dancing. What we got to do is we got to make sure that we separate the facts from the noise, and we capitalize on the fact that others are selling on the noise, because investors are very nervous now. Because of what happened on Luna, the whole market is super nervous now. They know that protocols can go to zero. And so when Solana crashes for another hour, look what happens to the Solana price. I mean, that's what happened yesterday to Solana. In fact, let's go into the 1 hour candle, and you can see what happened to Solana yesterday when their network crashed. Okay, now the question is that FUD? Or is this something that may actually destroy Solana long term? Because if you believe it's garbage, then you can buy it over here and you can hold it all the way up because you know Solana is going to survive. But if this is fundamentally true, if there's a real problem with Solana and it's not just noise, then Solana may just go to zero. So which one is it? And that's what we're going to talk about today. And I want to start off with a whole lot of tokens. Every single one of these tokens is getting FUDed super hard. And then let's decide whether they're going to survive, and this is a great buying opportunity, or whether they're actually going to die. Okay, so that's what I want to do today. And I want to start off with this tweet. Okay, so this is a guy called Mike Alfred. Okay, let's just see who Mike Alfred is. Mike Alfred is an engaged value investor, previously founding CEO at Brightscope Digital Assets Data. He's an ultra runner with 400-mile finishes. So long story short, if you see this guy running in the street, don't think you can outrun him, because he can run forever, this guy. Okay, so what he says, HEX is a blatant Ponzi scheme. Celsius is an unregulated fractional reserve bank with no FDIC insurance. Solana is a centralized database that constantly breaks, and Cardano took years to deliver a blockchain with little significance or utility. Holy shit, this is like basically all the FUD in one tweet. Now, who is Mike Alfred? Is he right? Should we agree with him? Or is he wrong? That's the question. Is HEX a Ponzi? Is Celsius an unregulated bank with no FDIC insurance? Is Solana a centralized database that constantly breaks? Is Cardano a blockchain with little or significant utility? Is this a reality check? Is Mike Alfred's tweet a reality check? Were we all caught up in a bull market investing in his bullshit Ponzi scheme, hot air projects? Or is this over FUD? And is this the buying opportunity? And I want to go through each of these projects one by one, and decide whether we should be thinking of buying them or whether we should be running for the hills. But don't run too fast, because remember, Mike Alfred can run. He's, as Mike Alfred will tell you, he is a ultra runner with 4 100-mile finishes. So if you're going to run for the hills, just don't run past Mike Alfred. Don't run past Mike Alfred. Okay, so let's start off with the first one, which is Celsius. Okay, this is what the Celsius token looks like. This is what the price of a Celsius token looks like. Okay, Celsius was trading at $2.15. Celsius went all the way down to 49 cents. Celsius is now back up at 77 cents. Is this a buying opportunity? or is Celsius an unregulated bank? There have been reports that Celsius put on hodl mode, which hodl mode prevents outgoing transfers because of frauds. They're scared of because of frauds. So Mike Alfred said that Celsius activated hodl mode so that they wouldn't have to pay because they're not solvent and they wouldn't have to pay. There's also FUD that Celsius lost its auditor and now is protecting a bank run. Okay? There is also other FUD. And the FUD is that Chrissy Mashinsky, which is Alex Mashinsky's wife, is actually dumping Celsius tokens on the community. This is the FUD. Question is this FUD or is this real? Because the market says that the market is scared and they've dumped all their Celsius tokens. But maybe if it's FUD, we can buy them here and we can just hold them up to the next bull market. So you know me, when I hear FUD like this, the first thing I do is I do the research. I phone my friends at different places, and I ask them directly. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask Alex directly. Alex, there's a lot of FUD around Celsius, tons of FUD around Celsius. And I guess we're going to put you on the spot here because we want you to answer directly, right?
Well, you haven't shown any of the responses that we posted for this, right? So
that's why I've got you here. Because we're going to go through the FUD one by one.
So this guy, Mike, by the way, the picture you showed, in that picture, I'm sitting next to Mike on the CNBC interview, right?
Okay.
So, and I asked him to take it off because obviously him and Corey and others are doing a coordinated attack on Celsius, so you could come and use their service. What they're not telling you is that they are running a competing business, right? They're running a competing.
This guy's Mike Alfred. Is this guy Mike Alfred?
Yeah, and
he definitely looks like a runner. He's got that tan from running in the sun too much.
He's running out of business. That's where he's running. He's been losing. I posted that they lost half of their customers in the last year. And by the way, somebody shorted 900,000 Cell tokens before it crashed. They shorted. You can go on FTX and look at the perps, and you will see that first they shorted, and then they started creating the FUD. So you have to do a little bit of digging, like you said, just like in that SEC commercial, the government commercial talking about how you should do research. All of you guys should do research and find out. Celsius has been doing the same thing for 5 years, giving people cheap loans, paying yield, earning real Bitcoin by mining it, right? So unlike all the other projects that are listed on that cover that you have, we actually earn what we pay out. We don't just shield tokens or print tokens or take stuff from treasury, right? So when we run Bitcoin mining, we create Bitcoin, and some of it goes to pay yield for our community. We issue a loan. If you want dollars against your Bitcoin as a margin loan, you pay us interest. We give some of that back to the community. So it's very simple to understand the business model and how Celsius creates value and makes money. Explain to me how Solana makes money if it doesn't charge anything for its.
I hear you. So let me ask the question.
Explain to me how HEX makes money if it doesn't do anything. It doesn't create anything. Yeah. It doesn't do anything. It just makes you lock up your coins and hope that more people show up. So
Celsius's business model
putting us in the same bucket as these guys is an insult to all the intelligence of all the people that are watching.
Well, that's why we have here, because what we want to do today is actually dispel, because we think that if it is unsubstantiated FUD, this is the best opportunity of people's lives, right?
Right. So we have billions in liquidity. Anyone?
Let me ask a few questions. Let me ask you a few questions. The business model of Celsius is you mine Bitcoin. I know one of your companies is going public. I'm not going to talk about that because I know you're in a period we're not allowed to talk. You mine Bitcoin. That's one of the revenue streams. The rest is I give you my tokens. You lend out my, and I can borrow against them, and you charge me interest for borrowing, right?
We make income from charging you interest on the money you borrow. Yes.
Okay. Does Celsius participate in DeFi? In other words, one of the speculations that is out there in the market is that Celsius participates in DeFi, and because Celsius participated in DeFi, and DeFi has obviously taken a big hit, that Celsius took a big hit, and therefore they can't pay back their loans.
Yeah, so we posted 100 times on our YouTube channel, on our Twitter channel, on my personal Mashinsky at Celsius Network, that Celsius did not, we didn't own any Luna or UST. We did not short Luna or UST. We did not benefit from the collapse. We right now at this moment, I think we have less than 5% of our assets in DeFi, as an example. So Celsius, most of our business has nothing to do with DeFi, right? We participate in DeFi. If I can take a loan on Aave for 2% and I can lend the same money at 8%, then of course I will participate there. I'm gonna be a borrower on DeFi, and sometimes when the rates are high, I'm a lender on DeFi. But unlike many projects that are 100% DeFi, Celsius, most of our business, right, is basic Bitcoin, Ethereum business, has nothing to do with DeFi, right? So we earn yield 5 different ways, right? We talked about retail loans, we talked about mining, we also do institutional lending. So if you're a market maker, you need liquidity, you'll come to Celsius, take a loan. We also lend to exchanges. So if you are an exchange and you need basically the way exchanges operate, somebody has to provide the liquidity, right? Celsius provides the liquidity and we charge fees for that. And that's how we make real income, not some token that is being printed or whatever. This is real income. We have millions of dollars. We also publish all this information. And it's very easy using our Rewards Explorer, proof of community, proof of reserve, all these things, very easy to verify all the things we're saying. Now, again, none of these people that are accusing us of stuff have ever published their weekly numbers, have ever done a debate or an interview, are not willing to come out, even though they were invited, are not willing to come and substantiate any of their allegations, any of them, right? So HODL mode is a perfect example. Celsius does not block customers just because we want to. There's only 2 reasons you would have HODL mode. One, you chose to block your account because you're afraid that people will steal your identity, or you used your password, or it's on a block, it's on a, you're worried about security. And the second one is because we, Celsius, identified that somebody's trying to log into your account with your credentials from an IP address that you don't
it wasn't a master. You didn't block everybody's addresses. Suspicious addresses are blocked, or addresses that set HODL mode on their account was blocked.
We have 2 million customers, and I would say less than 100 people, right, have been activated with HODL mode without them asking for it. Now, again, we see that as a service. If you don't want it,
take it off.
Don't use it. Exactly. You can take off HODL mode immediately. And again, anyone who wanted to withdraw assets have withdrawn. There hasn't been. Find me one person.
Okay, I got
that you can verify. Not a bot, not somebody that Corey sent you. Look, all these people. Mike admitted, yes, I'm an investor in Corey's company, right? So like,
I'm gonna get there. I want to show the other side.
All these people are part of the same group FUDing Celsius. Now, do they publish their numbers? Do they give you their revenues? Do they all charge you fees? Now, why aren't we talking about that?
We're going to. 2 seconds. I got two questions for you, Alex.
Great companies like Celsius.
2 questions quickly, and then we're going to go into the other side of the coin. So the other 2 accusations or allegations is, one is that your auditors have recently left you. Have your auditors recently left you?
No, you cannot file to go public if your auditors left you. Okay, so that's just the dumbest thing you can say. So people are putting up, again, this is all FUDing without any. No,
I'm glad. This is why I brought you, Alex. This is why I brought you.
Behind it.
Okay, lastly, Chrissy Mashinsky selling Celsius tokens on the community.
Again, these are accusations. I didn't even look into it, but I know that I'm not selling, and no one in Celsius is selling. All of this selling that these guys are talking about, they're tracking movements of coins, and they just decided that this account belongs to this person, that account belongs to that person. We publish on our website for the last 5 years right? Why don't you go to our website, okay, and take a look at it? We publish all of our wallets. It's all public information. There's no need to guess, right? It's all right there.
You publish your holdings?
Yes, we publish all of our wallets, and anyone who wants to, it says it's under the community, top 500 holders.
Okay, and let's quickly go there.
And again,
There we go. Oh, what happened to Alex? We dropped off. He's gone. I'm sure he'll come back. Okay, so there are the top 500 holders of Celsius tokens. I'm sure he'll be there. He'll be back in a second. I'm sure he'll be back in a second. He'll definitely come back. I do want to talk about the other side of it, which I'm sure. Oh, here he is. He's back. There we go. Okay, so we've got the top 500 holders here.
So I'm the second one, right? That number has not changed in, I don't know, at least 2 years. Okay.
What about this number here, number 6? What about number 6? Because the allegations are it's Chrissy, right?
Yeah. So again, Chrissy is my wife, and she does pay some vendors in Cell token, and that number again, if she's not an employee of the company, she's not a she's entitled to sell a little bit every now and then. Exactly, but I don't even think if she even sold, she just transferred it to other people. So just because somebody else is selling doesn't mean that Celsius, the people, I bet you, again, I'll make an accusation here. I bet you that these people who are scamming and spamming Celsius are the ones who shorted the Cell token before it dropped. And I'm urging regulators and lawmakers to go and investigate this, because why would somebody out of the blue, after sitting next to me on an interview and bragging about putting it on his profile, hey, look, I'm good friends with Alex Mashinsky. Look, I was with him on the CNBC. Suddenly, overnight, turning into, oh my God, Celsius is horrible, and Max Kaiser, and all these guys.
Well, so that's what I want to show. That's what I want to show. So Max Kaiser is, everyone knows, is actually sponsored or an investor of Swan, because
he's an investor. And
he's an investor and he's sponsored. I think he's
Bitcoin maxi. He's a Bitcoin maxi, a Putin lover. Like I posted a video of him telling everybody that the war in the Ukraine is a hoax. I'm Ukrainian. I was born in the Ukraine, right? And this genius is telling us that that's a hoax. Tens of thousands of people are dying there, right? Fighting, defending freedom. And Max Kaiser is telling us it's a hoax, and we should believe Putin.
And he's an investor in Swan Bitcoin. I think his podcast is even sponsored by them. So that's what I'm trying to show the community here, is that they've got to be able to separate the noise from the reality. On the one hand, you
have to understand it's a coordinated attack. And all these people, none of them are doing anything that Celsius does, right? They don't give you cheap loans. They don't give you yield. They just charge you fees. And they're trying to scare you that Celsius is a bad place. They're shorting the token, and they hope that when you leave Celsius, you'll go to them so they can charge you fees. Now, you tell me what's better, no fees or fees? We've been providing the service for millions of people for a very long time. And again, seeing these guys, you don't believe me? Go on Go on FTX and look at the perps, and you will see that there was no shorts on Cell token. Suddenly there were shorts right before all this FUD started last week, right?
Look, I've been here for long enough to know that these attacks are coordinated. I've seen them before. You can see who the players are. Coincidentally, what you're seeing that the players, I don't know what's going on here.
All of us,
the players are investors. Mike Alfred admits that he is an investor in Swan. Max Kaiser is an investor in Swan. So, and these are the guys that are fighting.
They're all the ones who are fudding, and they have 400 bots. I posted a proof that Corey created 400 different profiles for himself and retweets his own tweets, right? And we complained. I sent it to Twitter to shut down his account, because I mean, how can you allow this? And this is, again, instead of us fighting TradFi and uniting to build the future of finance. When I created Celsius Network, the last thing I was thinking is that I'll be stabbed in the back by my own people in crypto who I thought were my friends, who were sitting next to me on the CNBC interviews. You know,
Alex, we've been here before. This is the bear market. This is the bear market.
But look, Celsius went through 5 downturns, 5 drawdowns of 50% or more. And every time we came out of it stronger than ever. Why? Because the community, all of you guys, united with the people who are acting in your best interest. I guarantee you that Max and Mark and Corey are not acting in your best interest. They just want to charge you more fees. And when they can't get you, they're trying to scare you away at the worst time possible, right? When all of you are already got bitten by, hurt by prices coming down, hurt by Luna, and so on, so on. So, and again, look, we've made these public statement. I can't just make public statement and be lying. We are not there. There is no way that Celsius benefited from the Luna collapse. There's no way that anyone in the Celsius community benefited from the Luna collapse. But we know for sure that other people did. We know that some mysterious actor made $900 million while causing $60 billion in wipeouts for all of us. So instead of focusing on the bad people, the people who perpetrate all these things, the people who are shorting things like the Cell token, they're causing all this noise and they're making everybody go and say, oh, should I worry about Celsius? No, you should worry about identifying all these people.
I agree. Are
playing games with us, who are manipulating the market. When the stock market, NASDAQ, goes up 10% and the crypto market continues to go down right before several $1 billion worth of future expiration. That's what you should focus on, is identifying who is manipulating the market to make sure that all the people who went long and would have made money if we just allowed the markets to do what they do, we're basically profitable, right? So market manipulation, that's what Mr.
Alex, we get it. We believe we're behind you. We got to go. We've got 4 more projects to cover. We're running out of time. But listen, we're behind you. I just wanted to bring you on to show the community that everything is good in Celsius and that I think that
we
this
just
is just
launched. Let me just do one plug-in because I think it's important. We just launched globally, right? Several billion people have access to it right now. Swaps with no fees, 0 fees, and no spreads. You get an institutional quote that beats Coinbase and everybody else you're using today. So you want to unite behind the people who act in your best interest. No one will provide you that service. Okay, try the swap service on Celsius. Download the app. Try it out. Show me one company, anyone else in crypto that gives you a better quote or better execution than Celsius. And then you can tell me who's acting in your best interest and who's just FUDding and trying to scare you. Unfollow all these guys, okay? Unfollow them and tell them how they're not acting in your best
interest. Much love, my friend. Man, I was going to bring him on for 5 minutes because we've got a lot to cover. But look, he's passionate and I think he's right. And he's here and he's telling you guys that this is just FUD and it's a coordinated attack. And it's probably done by people who is competitors. I mean, Max Kaiser is an investor in a competitor. Mark Alfred is an investor in the same competitor. You do your own research. You decide. Let's move on to the next one. The next one's also super interesting for me. The next one is this one over here. So you see here, you've got HEX. HEX has been the magic coin that only ever goes up. It went all the way up. But then a few days ago, look what happened to HEX. HEX went down to... This is your coin, Carl. This is your coin. It went down to 3 cents. And now it's back up at 6 cents. Question is the community losing faith in HEX? You got Eric Wall who's saying that HEX has fallen outside the rainbow. He's saying and you don't want to leave the rainbow. And then you've got a whole lot of FUD here about this debate that happened between Richard Hart and Eric Wall. So, I mean, you listen, you tell me. We're going to go through this together. You guys are going to decide.
You can't even go to the U.S.
What are you talking about? I just
You can go
choose
to the
not to.
U.S.?
Yeah, I don't have any fucking
When was the
cases
last
on
time you
me.
went to the U.S.?
I went to the Super Bowl in like 2006, I think. 2006.
2006. I'm
Yeah.
talking about like when have you been able to go to the U.S. since you launched
Whenever I
HEX?
went.
Since
Whenever
HEX.
I went. Whenever I went. I don't have open cases.
So have you been in the U.S. since 2019?
So let me get it straight. Anybody that hasn't been to the States has charges on them or some shit? So all of Africa has charges on them? No, bro. Like I can go there anytime I want.
Okay, so
Let me put it this way. If
you want to make a
if
bet? You want to make a bet?
I don't need
I'll
your
make
money.
a bet that Richard Hart won't go to the U.S. in this year or the next year.
Have Joe Rogan invite me. Have me a good reason to be there. Every time I go to the States, it's drama bullshit. I'm from Miami. In Miami, you get pulled over, you might die. You're in a traffic jam, you might die. Where I'm from in America, the shit was terribly violent, terribly violent. I've had terrible personal experiences in that place. When I live in the rest of the world, I get pulled over, I'm not worried about getting shot.
You know that there's tons of HEX events in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Do you go there?
No.
Why not?
I don't like America, bro. That's why I left.
That's where your
20 years
community.
ago.
That's where your community is. How come
They're
you can't
rich
go
enough
there?
to travel. Come to the better places where you don't have to wear a vest. I ain't wearing no bulletproof vest.
There is a very easy explanation why Richard doesn't go to the U.S. It's because he conducts illegal ICOs, basically illegal securities offerings.
Nice.
Where he accepts money from retail, from the public, which is under U.S. law an illegal securities offering. No matter how you want to label it, no matter how much cover your ass legalese you use, the people that sacrifice to your projects, they're expecting a profit from it. And you know that if you go to the U.S., you're gonna get your ass handled by the SEC.
This is so easy. Okay, first of all, let's talk about illegal security offerings.
Okay, so that's Rich. That's the first part.
Okay. So let's take Luna as an example.
Sure.
Did people get extremely rich investing in Luna up until a month ago?
Yeah, sure.
They did.
Yeah.
Was that a great thing?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
So how can you say that HEX has gone up in value? It's a great thing. It's all about how it ends. Because if it goes back down to zero, the only thing that happened was a zero-sum game. Every win was somebody else's loss.
But
That's the thing that you're running into. If you're moving to a platform that you don't even know how to maintain, your shit goes to zero. All those gains that people made are going to be paid out from people that had losses.
So every single speculative instrument is a game where you need new money to come in or the prices don't go up. So this talking shit about, oh, it's just a net fucking trading amongst each other thing, that's life. That's the whole fucking planet. That's the stock market. That's businesses. That's relationships. You need more energy to come in. The sun has to keep shining. Plants need to keep growing. That's life. It's not you do not argue.
And I just don't see you building that kind of a sustainable product. You can't even use HEX as a medium of exchange.
I don't want it to be a medium of exchange.
I know. That's why your product is deficient.
No.
But you don't even have a good
isn't it?
store value thesis for HEX because your coin is endlessly inflating to the end of time.
No, you just don't understand how it works.
I do understand how it works. And you say that the maximum inflation per year is 3.69% per year. That isn't even true because that 3.69% is with your supply included, which is like 80%. So if you take out your own supply and just think about how much the guys who aren't you are getting inflated because you're not receiving the staking rewards, right? That's how you can say that they're getting 38% APY because those are the coins that are actually going to the community of hexicans. The community outside of OA, they're getting diluted the fuck out of. They're getting diluted the fuck out.
Okay, let's say you have a $20 in your wallet and you split into two tens. Did you make money or you lose money? You just change the units, right? So let's say you own 100% of the HEX, and now you pay yourself interest. Did you make money or
nothing
lose money?
happens?
That's right, nothing happens.
Yeah.
And so when you don't have negative externalities, you're just changing the fucking units. Because we don't have to pay mining.
Okay, so question is HEX a scam? And is the scam actually coming to light now? And the market, the market's telling you that the price is going down. And then Eric Wall takes it even further and he says, yeah, I think I've got it over here. He says, now there's Pulse Chain, and Pulse Chain is delaying the launch of the Pulse Chain token. We haven't had the launch because they're rewriting the code from get to go. Listen to this.
I don't care when Pulse comes out. Me neither, man. I don't really care if it doesn't come out. I'm cool with it just being. I'm cool with HEX just working on Ethereum because I know how Ethereum fee's cheap as fuck right now. And if I'm staked for 15 years. Even if my fee is 1 ETH, I'm probably gonna make more than 1 ETH on my HEX when that's.
So that's what's going on in the HEX community. And I think what I'm gonna do, Carl, what do you think? I mean, you're a supporter. Come on, tell us what do you think?
No, I don't really have too many comments about HEX, but I'm interested in Pulse Chain because that makes more sense because projects can build on it.
They can, but forking Ethereum in its current state with all the ERC20 tokens is a big task. And
it's a big task, but it's worth placing a bet on. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Okay. So I think we're going to get Richard Hart on and we'll settle this debate with Richard Hart on. All right. Let's quickly move on to the next one because I've also got a couple of other things I want to do today. So next one is Solana. Look at that. yesterday went from $45 to $38. Okay, now remember, this is like one of the biggest blockchains out there. And what happened? Well, the network crashed again. Now, I think Solana is starting to crash a little bit too often. The nodes saw a complete dead. The nodes were out for around 4 or 5 hours. And what the validators did was they all met on a centralized Discord and they decided when to switch on the chain again. Now, people are starting to get really nervous because Solana keeps crashing. Solana keeps crashing once too often. And if you think to yourself, if you were a country or if you were a bank, you can't be in a situation where the network keeps crashing. And the question is whether Solana will actually keep crashing or whether this crash is an opportunity to buy more because Solana is still on a testnet. Solana doesn't claim to be on mainnet. Solana is still on a testnet. So is this an opportunity? Is this blackout an opportunity? Why did it black out? Well, there was a bug. What happened was there were different blocks. On the same block, there were different transactions. And when that happens, that means that there's no agreement on the blocks. And so they had to switch off the network again. Now, previously, the market's actually forgiven Solana. But this time, the market kind of said, hold on, we're not actually forgiving Solana. We're actually going to hit the price because now it's a bear market and everyone's salty and the euphoria's gone and the hype's gone and everyone's nervous and it's the opposite. And that's what happened yesterday on Solana. Now, question is it a good time to invest? Got to decide for yourself whether you think it's going to work eventually one day. Yes, Solana is on a testnet, but is it ever going to get onto mainnet? Now, obviously, Charles Hoskinson jumps in. What does Charles Hoskinson say? He says, Solana breaks. He says, this might help. And then cheekily, what he does, he gives them a video of how to fix old video games, implying that their technology is so old and boring.
Good morning, YouTube. This is Adam here, and I'm going to try and repair another game. So
that's what Charles Hoskinson did. And then of course, the internet went mad, and then they said, well, Cardano's never halted because nobody actually ever uses it. So this is what's going on. We're in a bear market, and we just need to know. And then you got to ask the question, is Cardano ever going to work? Because is Cardano actually working? Is there anyone actually, have you ever used Cardano? Have you ever bought an NFT on Cardano? Have you ever used the lending and borrowing protocol on Cardano? Now is the time to be asking those questions because now is the bear market. And you come up with your own answers. And regardless of your answers, my feeling is Solana's on a testnet. And I agree with Miles. Solana's on a testnet. It eventually will be fixed. Right now, there's much more usage on Solana than any other blockchain, even Ethereum, in number of uses, not in value. Obviously, Ethereum's got much bigger value. And I think that they will fix it. And therefore, I think that now Solana is quite cheap. And so I'm buying Solana. Let's move on to the next one. The next one that has a whole lot of FUD around it is STEPN. Everyone's saying that STEPN can never sustain this amazing growth. And if you look at, let's quickly get a STEPN chart. I think what's a GMT? GMT. There we go. Let's look at STEPN. How's that? How's that for, let's not look at it on the 1 hour chart. Let's look at it. How's that? Went all the way to $4.34, now back at $1.07. Remember that?
It's rolling over there.
Yeah, so you've got them pulling out of China the other day. They pulled out of China the other day because you're not allowed to track people's movements in China or something like that. There's also massive token releases. Now you got to ask yourself, is STEPN just all about hype? Can they survive all their token releases? If yes, if you think that the answer is yes, this may be a great buying opportunity. If not, then you may be in the same camp as Algo Trading. Now remember, Algo Trading was the guy that took the bet against Do Kwon. He was the original guy that took the bet against Do Kwon. And he says, GMT is the next shitcoin that will die. It's the new XE. It's the new XE of 2022. We'll short with size. People will make hundreds of dollars walking on the expense of clueless buyers. It's absurd. You got to decide. We're in the bear market. In the bear market, you're going to get as much fear as there is. It is as much panic and fear as there was euphoria and hype in the bull market. Those that bought into the euphoria and hype in the bull market got burnt. Those that buy into the fear and panic will make lots of money if they buy the right things. Some tokens are going to die. Some tokens are going to make it through. Your job is to decide which ones you think are going to survive and to buy them in the peak fear and the euphoria. That's the challenge here. That's all you need. That's all you need to know. Got it? Cool. All right. The other thing is, I keep saying this to you. In a bear market, the only thing you need to do is survive. Surviving means that you got to hold on to all your crypto. Holding on to all your crypto means smart investing and hodling. It also means following basic rules, like keep your keys in a safe place, like don't lose your computer, like don't get hacked. Now, I always tell you guys, I've told you guys millions and millions and millions of times, I said, go and get yourself a VPN, because you can use a VPN to protect your computer, to make sure that you don't get attacked, because the VPN masks your IP address. But you guys aren't all listening to me. That's the problem. You're not all listening to me. So what I decided to do was actually to call Orimas from NordVPN, and he's going to tell you why you need a VPN. Welcome, my friend.
Hi, Ran, and thank you for having me.
Such a pleasure. Tell me why we need a VPN, because I keep telling these guys that it's like the basic thing that every single crypto investor must have. And for $3 a month, okay, it's like $3 a month, you can protect your entire portfolio, your entire computer, your IP addresses. Can you please clarify for me why people need a VPN, specifically crypto?
Yeah, thanks for the introduction. And I cannot agree more with you. So let's say we can distinguish two main things, public Wi-Fi's, which I'm sure that everyone have used them at least once, and cyber attacks, and specifically phishing. So public Wi-Fi's, let's say you're abroad, you don't have mobile data, and your friend messages you that Crypto Banter sent some news that you need to sell or buy something. It's a suggestion. And you don't have Wi-Fi, you don't have mobile data, you jump on any public Wi-Fi, but you never know when you land on a fake one. And what happens later? Well, better let's not talk about that.
Yes, because you lose everything.
Exactly. In the worst case, you definitely can. And cyber attacks, as I said, phishing. So I think phishing attacks in the cyber currency scams is the biggest one, and people lose billions of dollars. And it's super easy to land on one by simply opening a wrong website. Even it could be even a trading platform, exchange one. It can be any kind of fiat. And even though VPNs do not protect you from phishing, we at Nord provide two specific features for that, which is CyberSec and threat protection. And they simply block ads, and especially the malicious ads, websites, files that could contain virus and something like that. So I would say in these situations, you definitely need and want to use a VPN.
Okay. And okay, so it to protect your to get a VPN costs $3.16 a month, right?
Correct. I would say a cup of coffee. Depends when.
A cup of coffee to protect your crypto portfolio every single month. That's basically what we're talking about here.
Correct.
Now, why is it so important that you protect your IP address? Why do you want to not? Why do you want to disguise your IP address? Why do you want to move or not show people where your IP address is from?
That's a good question. And actually, let's imagine again a situation. You use any kind of exchange platform, and the platform sees your real IP address. Well, that's not a problem, of course. But if by any chance platform gets hacked, happens to everyone, to the best of us. In that case, someone who hacked, they see your IP address, the one that only exchange platforms saw. And from IP address, you can see way more than most of us can imagine. It can start from the country. It can finish with your name and surname if it was registered under your name. And simply people see your zip code, see your place where you live. And of course, they can remotely break into one's computer if we're talking about next level hackers.
If you want to get into somebody else's computer, the first thing that you need is you need to get their IP address. That's the entry point. That's the gate to the computer. Yeah. And that's the big thing.
That's the first thing.
That's what people don't understand. That's what I want you to tell them. That's what they don't understand. If your IP address is exposed, it's like your front door of your house is exposed. Everybody can see it. And that's why
it's simply like you don't have a door. You simply just took out the door and like welcome everyone.
All right, brother. I know you've given us an amazing special 70% off, which is $3.16 per month if you sign up on this plan. Guys, sign up on this plan. Protect your crypto. Survive the bear market. Buddy, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ran. Bye.
Much love, much love. You know, the one thing he won't tell you, because he's not allowed to tell you, because that's how people are that work for big companies. The one thing he won't tell you is that using a VPN, you can tell other sites and that which country you are from. You can decide which country you want to be from. Now, I'm not saying anyone should do that. I think that's really bad when people say they're from another country because they want to get onto crypto services that aren't allowed in their country. No one should ever do it, but you can do that. You can do it. All right, lastly, today, lastly, we're going to do a ByBit giveaway. We're going to 10x someone's account. Remember, if you want to be part of this, and also if you want to be part of our trading shows or any of our other calls, then just go and get yourself a ByBit account using our link. And today I'm going to just 10x one account. Okay, so Carl, what's your lucky number between 1 and 50,000?
What's the Bitcoin price? 30,189.
No, I think that's too. I don't think I've got 30,000.
69, bro.
I don't know, you guys. Okay.
James's favorite number is 69.
Okay, so I'm going to go to number 6,900 because that's James's favorite number, 69. Now let's go to 6969. Okay. Okay. Now here's what I'm going to do to 6969. Okay. I'm going to 20x 6969, but no more than $10,000. Okay, that's fair. Because James said that his favorite number is 6969. We're going to take 6969. Remember, if you want to be a part of this, all you have to do is take out a ByBit account using our link. It has to be with our link. And every day I 10x someone's portfolio. And remember, when Sheldon trades or when we open trades anywhere on the station, that is the exchange that we're going to use first. All right, 6969. Remember, I'm 20xing 6969 today. 20xing 6969. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. Who is 6969? Who is 6969? Yeah! Got $1,000. He's got $10,000.
Lucky.
He's got $10,000.
Aren't you 20xing?
No, I said to a maximum of 10 grand. You've got to focus, Jimmy. Focus, Jimmy. Focus. So he gets himself 10 grand.
Yeah, this guy says it's him.
Freddie. Is it Freddie?
I don't know. He's probably just.
Nah, he's trolling. He's trolling. Come on, he's definitely trolling. If it was 10 grand in your account, check your account tomorrow. You should have 10 grand into your account. Also tomorrow, I will see you guys again tomorrow. Lastly, remember again, go to Sheldon's Twitter profile. Follow Sheldon on Twitter. Subscribe to Daily Candle because that's when the charts drop first. Subscribe with the links below to the three exchanges because you never know when Sheldon's going to be going live, and he is going to be going live, and he is going to be trading, he's going to be putting through amazing trades. Okay, we'll do it tomorrow. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Oh, Friday Banter tomorrow. Hold on. Big Friday Banter tomorrow. Tomorrow I've got Yatsu from Animoca Brands. I've got Brian Evans, great guy. And I've got Hasib from Dragonfly. So all three are coming to the Friday Banter tomorrow. So going to be a big show on the most fun station in the whole world. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, have fun. Don't trade. Trade well. Don't buy scams. Buy tokens that are going to survive. I don't know. Do whatever you want. See you tomorrow. Bye. Hi, Raymond and Jen. Is that Jen?
Hey.
What up?
What up?